Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Evelyn. Welcome, welcome, welcome. In today's video, I am doing a haul. I am sharing mostly coloring books, but I do have a few little items to share with you first that are not coloring books. The first item I have is a practical color combinations resources book with over 2,500 samples of color schemes. I learned about this book from someone in the coloring community. I can't remember their channel name. The author of this book is Naomi Kuno, Forms Inc. I'm going to show you the inside very briefly of this book. So we have the prologue, introduction, how to use this book, and we have our table of contents. This book is broken up into categories. We have category 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. It goes all the way through 9. And each category is a group of colors. For example, category 1, a color group with cute, gentle, and cheery impressions. And then they have, for the first one, 001, Cute Baby Room, page 10. Let's check that out. We have our introduction to the category 1 section, and then here is the Cute Baby Room. They give us all these colors that look good together. And then we have over here on this page 2 color combinations, 3 color combinations, 4 color combinations, and 5 color combinations. I bought this book because, of course, someone recommended it, but I thought it would be a neat tool to have on hand because I do like to see what goes with what, even though I'm the type of person who just colors. I don't really have anything that I go by most of the time, but it would be nice to, look to see, well, what colors actually do look good together, and then go from there. And that's it. Let me flip through here right quick so you can get an idea of what the other color groups are in here. That is it for the little practical coloring combinations book. Up next, I have some pens. These are from the brand Sakura. These are the souffle pens, and they are similar to the matte hop pens. I have used, I think, 2 of these, and I will show you that when I get to the coloring books. But this is how it looks. These are more of a matte opaque type of pen, and also it says that they stand out on dark surfaces, they're visible, and they have a 3D effect on the back here. Let me tell you what it says. It says apply slowly to let the ink flow thickly. Those adverbs. Allow 5 to 10 minutes drying time. 3D effect works best on non-porous surfaces. Works on plastic, coated paper, glass, or metal. And I have used these. You will get to see how they look in something I colored. I bought these from Amazon. 10 of these are in here. And I think they are similar to the matte hop pens, but what I noticed about these pens is that the ink flows out better. That was just my first thought about these pens. The ink comes out much better than they do in the Pentel matte hop pens. Moving on to the next item, which is some refills that I purchased. I have had this pen for probably 2 years, and I have not replaced the refill. So I ended up buying some refills to go in here, and these are they. Let me show you how they look right quick and how they came. We have these little refills inside of this little plastic here. This is in the color black. I might end up getting blue because my pen actually has blue in there, but I'm okay with writing in black. These are Kaweco, German, since 1883. This is a ballpoint pen. I like to use the ballpoint pen in my Moleskine expanded notebook because ballpoint just feels so good on that paper. The next item that I have, and the last one, then we'll get into the coloring books. I bought these colored pencils. Don't ask me how to say this. I did look it up, but I didn't look it up right before I started filming, so I can't remember how to say it. I'm going to pronounce it the best way I can. Skiffer Farben pencils. These are artist colored pencils, premium pigments, bright, vivid colors. I have 96 pencils. I first learned about these pencils from Bobini Creates. That's been a while ago. So these are pencils that are, I believe, I want to say oil based. They're a little harder. I have used them and you will see them in action in one of the coloring books that I colored in. These are they. What I discovered is that the person who sells these actually sells individual pencils on her Etsy shop. I don't think she sells all of the individual pencils, but I know that I can buy individual pencils if I need them from Tania, and that is her name. And this is what came in the pencil case, metal tin case here. And so they do have an Instagram account, and I discovered that she has an Etsy shop too, where you can buy individual pencils if you need them. Check out the pencils. I have been using them because I did color something, and this was broken, but that's okay. You know what? These pencils remind me of Hobby Lobby's Master Arts pencils because I did buy some at one point in time, but I also have the watercolor pencils, and they look just like this. I'm going to show them to you. So this is the Farben pencil that I have shown you. The lead is broken here. No big deal. I'll just sharpen it. This has silver writing on the side. It tells you the name of the pencil, and it has excellent on the side. It has excellent on all of the pencils. I don't know what that means. This is burnt sienna, so it has the color name and the color number on the side of the pencil. Now, I told you I would get the Master Arts pencil. This is a Master Arts pencil. This is the watercolor one. You see how similar they look? The only difference that I'm detecting is that the Farben pencil is a little bit wider, just slightly. The barrel is a little bit bigger than this one. This one feels more slender, but they still look the same to me. You see that? This is the Master Arts, and maybe the person who makes the Master Arts also made these pencils, the Farben pencils. I just think that's interesting because I did have the Master Arts, the regular Master Arts colored pencils, and what I discovered is that I didn't like them. They were a little bit too waxy for me, but they were good. They were good. So yeah, these are the Farben pencils. I have 96 of them. We have 4 trays, and I'll show you the color scheme right quick here. 1 tray, 2 trays. You can see what colors I've been using. That gives you a hint of what you will see in the the page that I colored. 3 trays, and then the 4th tray at the bottom. So we have a good number of greens, good number of blues, and we have our tray here with the pinks and reds, pinks and purples, and then our oranges, yellows, and peaches and ochres, I think, and all that. These are some pencils that I've been wanting for a while. I finally broke down and got them, and I actually like them. Now, on to the coloring books. The first coloring book that I have to share with you is Life with Plants coloring book by Katie Vaz. I learned about this coloring book from my buddy and friend, Spunky Jen. I saw one of her pages on Instagram, and she shared that that page was from this book, and I'm a plants girl. I love plants. I love gardening. So I had to have this book. Now, the thing about this book is that I purchased it from Amazon. It was $12. But you know what? When I received it, it had a sticker here that said $12. And then on top of that sticker, it had $3. And I said, $3? Did I pay $3 for this? No. But when I went back to Amazon, I noticed that this book was $1.98. Yeah. I don't feel too good. I could have got this book for $2, but nevertheless, I'm glad I purchased it. This is a book about Katie, and she is a person who loves plants and gardening. I think there's a book that she's written about her life as it relates to plants, but she also made a coloring book. I would like to get the book to read her story behind the coloring book eventually. So let's take a look inside. I did color this. I used Crayola, and I think it turned out pretty good. I colored it on a whim. I had no plans of coloring anything in here, but I just decided, let me grab my Crayola color pencils to see how it works, and I love how the pencils work on here. Now, here is a glimpse of the book. I'm not going to flip through all of the book, but I want you to know that the paper is just okay. It is not Amazon paper. I think it's a notch above Amazon paper, but it's not the best. But I found that when I used my Crayola, that I liked how the Crayola worked on here. So I'm good. I think I'll be fine with using colored pencils as well as a couple of markers that I have that are pigment art markers. I think they'll be fine here. But yeah, so here is a glimpse of life with plants. I love it because I love flowers. I love gardening. Look at the packages of seeds. Yes. I haven't gardened in years, but when I did have a garden, it was the bomb garden. I was growing some cabbages, I had garlic, I had what else? Okra, what else? Tomatoes. That was a good year. I enjoy gardening so much. But where I live, we have an issue with deer. So what happens is when we grow stuff, we have to protect what we grow or the deers will tear up our garden and we won't have any harvest. So I haven't had a garden in a long time because we need to protect what we grow. But I thought this was a nice little book to have because I love flowers. Yeah, so take a look. It's a neat little book to have, not too, you know, too hard, or should I say, with a lot of complications or intricate things in here. It's just, you know, easy to color. You know what you're getting in this book. So that is what is in here. It is an older book. I don't mind buying older books, and I don't mind having different types of books from what I see other people have. Okay. So this is Life with Plants. Here's what it says on the back. From Katie Vaz, author of the illustrated memoir, My Life with Plants. That's the book I was telling you about. Recall the plants that have been instrumental in your life as you color these charming and lush illustrations. And this is information about Katie. She's based in New York, and she designs her own lines of greeting cards, prints, and other stationery products. And she has an Etsy shop. This is Life with Plants. The next coloring book that I have is Millie Murata's Precious Planet. I noticed this coloring book, I think, last year. This was published in 2024, I believe. Let me make sure because I don't want to be wrong. It says 2024. And I wanted to get this last year, but I didn't. I have two of her books. And so I have been the type of person who's somewhat intimidated by all these little designs on the actual illustration, which I think they are referred to as doodles. But I'm getting more comfortable with coloring these types of illustrations. So I decided to go ahead and get this. I really do like this book. So let's take a quick look in here. I'm sure some of you are already familiar with this coloring book. Now the paper in here is okay. It's kind of thick, but not like really heavy, heavy thick. And you can tell that the paper is pretty good. The only negative thing about this coloring book is that the illustrations are on front and back. So if you want to use alcohol markers or just about any water-based medium, you may not be able to do that, or you may have to be very careful with how much water you add to whatever you're using. That's the only thing, because you don't want it to bleed onto the other illustration. That's the only negative that I see with this book is that, the illustrations are on front and back, but the illustrations are lovely. I adore them. So I got this book. Yeah. Let's take a quick flip from the back here. She does have a page, test your palette page. And then she has a list of the creatures in Precious Planet, which is good. A good thing to have in here. So let's look through right quick. I like the illustrations and I can't wait to start coloring them. Like I said, I'm more comfortable now with coloring illustrations like this because I know that I don't have to color every individual little thing. I can just slap a whole color on a whole section if I want to and not be so worried about it. So I can just block out these little designs if I want to, or doodles on here. But this is a lovely book. I love nature. I love animals. So this book was right up my alley. When I first saw it come out, I wanted it, but I was a little hesitant because I knew that I was not ready to color in this, being that I already have two of her books that I have not really colored in. So now that I feel a little bit more confident in coloring illustrations like this, I decided to go ahead and get this book. Lovely, lovely illustrations. Paper is okay. That's it for Millie Murata's Precious Planet. The next coloring book I have is a new release from Johanna Basford, Wonderful Wildflowers. I almost didn't buy this book. As a matter of fact, I had it in my mind that I was not buying this book. But it wasn't until after I saw Rachel Henderson's flip through that I decided I had to have this book in my life because I do like coloring flowers and I think this is a lovely coloring book. Let's take a look inside. Now, I told you that I had colored something with my Faber pencils, not Faber, Farben, the Skiffer Farben pencils that I just showed you in the opening of the video. Well, in the beginning, I colored this page with those pencils and I enjoyed it so much. The only thing is that it is a pencil that has a harder lead, which means you have to layer. And I layered a little bit, but not much. But I noticed that I was pushing down too hard over here because it's gone through the paper. I can feel it here. So, yeah. But overall, I enjoyed using those pencils, so I'm glad I purchased them. This is my little title page. I adore it. I think it's cute, okay? With the Skiffer Farben pencils. The next page, I colored using my luminance was it Caran d'Ache luminance pencils that I have. I have some. I don't have a full set. All I need is a few and I'm good. So that's what I used here. And also I used the pencils here. But one of the things I also did is that I used the souffle pens in this one. And I want you to see where I used the souffle pens. I used the blue here and I put blue lines on the flowers here. So the souffle pen worked well over the colored pencils. I used the blue here, and I also used the green here and the yellow green. No, let me back that up. This actually is not the souffle pens. These are the Pentel pens. That's why I said that those pens, the souffle pens, felt like the ink came out much easier. And then I also said, well, let me get the Pentel matte hot pens out and use them also. So that's the yellow green here is the matte hot pens, and then the blue, the light blue here, is the souffle pens from Sakura. And I can kind of tell a difference even by the way they lay down on the paper. Okay, so that's that. I did test the pens here and I tested the colored pencils that I showed you here. I'm gonna give you an up close look at them. I did try to do a little bit of something something with different colors on the flowers here. The pencils work fairly nicely on this paper. Now let's get into the coloring book. I didn't color anything else in here. The way I'm going to do this book is I'm going to work my way page by page. I'm not going to skip around because I want to color each page as I flip through. So my next page that I'll be coloring are these two pages. And so we have our introduction and her top coloring tips, which usually are the same in every book. Not the introduction, of course. The introduction tells you more about the coloring book. I'm not going to get into that. All right, so I really like this illustration here. I like this. Now, what I'm going to do is flip through it very quickly. And I'm not going to talk or anything too much. This is I think, a nice coloring book. If you like flowers, you will enjoy this book. Now, I have a little confession to make. I like this book much better than I do World of Flowers. Yeah, I really like this one much better than World of Flowers. That's my confession, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, my honest thought. But yeah, these are lovely illustrations. I think I'm going to enjoy coloring this. I already enjoyed coloring the cover page and the intro pages that I showed you, so I know that I will enjoy coloring these illustrations as well. Yeah. So these are the pages. They are nice. And I can say I do like this book. And I'm glad I purchased it. I almost did not buy it for some reason. Yeah, so that's it. And this is how it looks on the back here. She's telling you about the book here. And you can pause to read that if you like. That is it for Johanna Basford's Wonderful Wildflowers. The next book that I have is a book I never thought I would be purchasing. I actually purchased the book after I saw another colorist do a page, and her page was beautiful. I will link her in the cards as well as in the description. This is the Dragonling coloring book by Jasmine Beckett Griffin. And the paper is similar to the Christine Karen's books. So that's great, right? The paper is really good. So as you can see, this is how the characters look inside of this coloring book. Normally, I don't think I would actually buy anything like this, but after I saw the colorist completed page and what she did, I was blown away and I had to have this coloring book. So this is it here. And it says, this is a note from Jasmine telling that she's always been fascinated by dragons. You can pause to read this if you like, and I will freeze frame it just for a little bit so you can read it. And also, before I start flipping, here's what it says on the back here. It's a fantasy art coloring book. So this is a fantasy book. Jasmine Beckett Griffith is back, this time with dragons. Okay. I think the little characters, they're so cute. The way their eyes are drawn, it is definitely different and unique. And that's what I also like about this. The paper is pretty good. So if you want to use a water-based marker or whatever, even an alcohol marker, because the illustrations are just on one side. So you don't have to worry about messing up another illustration on the back of the page. So it's one-sided, which is always a plus. So what we're going to see in these illustrations, we're going to see the character always with the little dragon. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to flip through fairly quickly. What gets me every time with the characters are the eyes. I think they are so cute, adorable. They say the eyes are the windows of the soul. Some of the pages are um, landscape. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to look at that. That is so cute. Okay. I'm going to flip through a little quick here. She has in the back what I noticed all of her books. Yeah. She has all of her books that are available back here on individual pages. Okay. And that is Miss Jasmine. Let's take a look real quick. When I get to the page that colorist YouTuber was coloring, I'm going to show it to you. Here we go. Here. Some of the pages, as I stated, are landscape, so we have to turn it a little bit, but that's okay. At first, I thought these pages were similar, but when I looked closely, they're not similar. They're a little bit different. These both are just little ninjas. Okay. Yeah. Very cute. So I'm going to go through fairly quickly and you can get an idea of what's in here. Another landscape one. I usually don't buy books like this, but for some reason I bought it because the person that I saw coloring a page in here, she blew that thing out of the water. She used her Crayola color tips and she, used it like watercolor to base the page, and then she came in with her Prismacolors. Oh my goodness, it was beautiful. She did some beautiful coloring. I think her channel is coming back to my mind now. Fat Mama something. I'll put it up on the screen and in the description so you can check her out. But yeah, I thought that was so nice. So nice. Yeah. So if you like, stuff like this, you might be interested in the book. Now, this is the page that the colorist colored that drew me into this book. She did an amazing job. Had purple hair, the pumpkin, blue wings. It was just amazing. She did a great job. This was the page that drew me into this book. This is called Halloween Dragonling. Dragonling. Jasmine does name her pages as well. Okay. Yeah. We get through this book and so you can just see what's going on here. I don't mind the landscape pages, but when I'm trying to flip and show you the pages, I don't like to have to turn. There's another one. All right. I think I have learned about Jasmine uh, a while ago, but as I stated, this is not the type of coloring book or illustrations that I would purchase, but sometimes you need that little push from someone who colors and brings the pages to life, that give you that push to get it. And plus, I want to practice more coloring skin. And this is also a good book to do that in as well. So that is it for Dragonling by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. I have 3 coloring books to show you, all illustrated by Jane Maday. I only have one of her coloring books in my stash, super cute coloring book, I believe, that I'm coloring in for November. Well, I didn't even know that she had more coloring books until I stumbled across them on Amazon. So I had to have her books. I actually bought three, as I just stated. So this is Life is Sweet. It's an affirmation type of book. We have this title page here that I've already colored using some Star Joy colored pencils that I have, not the gold ones, the regular ones. I have gifted somebody my gold Star Joy pencils. But yeah, these are the regular ones here. I think it turned out very nicely on the paper. This paper is very, very nice. It's heavy. So I can use, water-based stuff if I want to, but I can't get carried away with it. But do know I can pretty much use whatever I want to use because the illustrations are just on one side of the page. How cool is that? She has an introduction here. I'm not going to read that, but you can pause it to take a read if you like. So here are her illustrations. I really enjoy her illustrations. It's something about her illustrations that I really, really like. They scream cozy and relaxing and comfy and all of that. I just don't feel overwhelmed or anything. I feel very comfortable when I look at her illustrations. They take me into what it is that she's doing. So here we have a page that says self-care lessons from the cat. I think this is cute. Take naps, take a nice bath, make time for play, enjoy time at home, stay curious, stretch daily, enjoy the sunshine. Y'all know getting some sunshine is really, really good for you. So let's check out her pages. You're going to see that she has letters in the book. I don't mind that because I love coloring letters, coming up with different color combinations to make the letters pop. I really enjoy that. So it's not a big deal for me. As long as they're placed in a good space on the page, I am good. So I'm going to go to the back here to kind of flip through quickly so you can see what's in here. Now, Jane Maday, she draws all of her illustrations by hand. So I feel comfortable supporting her because I know this is her work that she drew. There's no AI here involved. So we have the little doodles on her drawings here. In some of the drawings, you're going to see that in the other illustrations. Well, in the other books. You see that right there? Yeah. As I stated about the Millie Marauders books, I'm getting a little more comfortable with coloring pages that are like that with the little doodles and stuff. But this is a nice little book. Yeah. Very nice. What a beautiful morning. Look at that little froggy. Oh, that might be a good little page to color with Miss Yaya. Because I see insects in here as well as the frog, the amphibian. Okay. But yeah, this is the book here. One of Jane Maday's books that I picked up. I do have a book by her that she's talking about. I think it's drawing, art journaling, or something like that. So I didn't know she had more coloring books. And when I discovered she had more coloring books, well, I I went a little bit overboard in a good kind of way. I love that her pages are front only. They are not two-sided, so I can experiment with whatever medium I want. Okay, that's the first book. The next book that I have by Jane Maday is The Art of Positivity, 35 Plus Hopeful Coloring Projects. Let's take a look inside. We have something to color here, the title page. which is always fun to do because you're breaking the book in, so to speak. Then we have an illustration here on the back of the title page. We have our introduction to the book here. You can pause to read this if you like. The next page, which I really, really like that she has this in here, she has tools and materials, and she talks about the color pencils, watercolor markers, alcohol markers, gel pens, crayons, blending tools. So these, I believe, you can use these in this book because the paper is really, really nice. She talks about shading and gives you the steps on how to do that. She talks about how to use watercolor markers, and she's giving you the steps to do that. And then she goes into water soluble colored pencils, and she gives steps on how to do that, which is nice, a nice reference to have. I appreciate that. Now we have our pages, which in this book we have words on the page. As I stated, I don't mind having words on the page because I really love trying to make the words pop off the page with different ways I would color the words. Okay. So the first page, keep moving forward, little by little, you can go far. Okay. Little snail up there. Yeah, we know snails are slow, right? So you just keep moving little by little. All right, again, with this book, we only have illustrations on one side of the page, which is always a great thing because we don't have to worry about messing up the back of the page because there is no illustration there, which is always a plus in my book. The paper is still pretty good. It feels a little textured more so than the first book that I showed you of hers. The first book, the paper felt smoother. This one feels a little bit more I feel a little more texture in it, but it still is pretty good, pretty heavy here. So let's flip through fairly quickly here so you can get a general idea of what's in here. This is Jane Maday here on the back, in the back here. All right, let me see something. These books are old. I want y'all to know that. This was published in 2021. Okay. All right. I don't mind buying older books. If I like the art, the illustrations, I'm going to buy the book and color in it. All right, so here is the last illustration back here. It says, what seems to us as bitter trials are often blessings in disguise. She has a nice little illustration around that. Now, let's see what she got going on in here. Worrying does not empty tomorrow of its troubles. It empties today of its strength. Yeah, that's true. I'm going to just flip through fairly quickly so you can see what's in here. It's just more affirmations with her illustrations around it. If this is your cup of tea, then check out her book. I actually don't have a problem with stuff like this because I actually do like to color letters. And as I stated, I like to experiment with the different ways I can color letters to make them pop off the page, if I can do that. Yeah, very nice. I know some people may not like this type of coloring page with letters and quotes and stuff, but I think that it's okay. One of the things that I noticed, I was thinking about, oh, you can tear this out and give it to somebody, but you can, I guess you can cut it out if you want to, but the pages are not perforated. However, we do have stitch, stitch going on here. You can tell that by this portion here. I didn't share that in the first book, but all the books are like that. I'm trying to get to the stitch so you can see that it is stitched. Yeah, here it is, the thread. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's stitched. Even though you may want to cut this out and give it to somebody, you can. You probably just have to get you a little blade and get as close to there as you can to cut it out. That's if you want to do that. Okay. So that is it for Jane Maday's The Art of Positivity. The last book that I have by Jane Maday is Nature's Sweet Moments, 50 plus super cute designs to color. You know what? Some of these illustrations in here look kind of familiar in the super cute coloring book to me. Just so you know, let's take a quick look in here. Now in this book, she has a This Book Belongs To page. And you can color that. Paper is still pretty good from what I can feel. We have some illustrations there. We have our title page. This paper is a little thicker and a little smoother than what I felt in the previous book. Illustration here with her introduction. Now let's take a look in Jane Maday's book. This is the last Jane Maday book that I have. In this book, she also has tools and materials. Again, color pencils, crayons, gel pens, watercolor markers. She has blending tools, alcohol markers, and you can use all of that in this book because the paper will allow you to do that. Shading, she talks about markers and color pencil shading, watercolor markers, water soluble colored pencils. So here we go. That is pretty. I love sunflowers. I think that's what that is. It says bloom. Again, our illustrations are just on one side, which is always a plus in my book when I am coloring in a coloring book. And again, the paper is pretty good. So you don't have to worry about, you know, messing up stuff or not being able to use different mediums. You can use it on this paper. So let's take a look. I just can't get over how great her paper is. It's good to me. Now let's flip to the back real quick and do a quick flip. Now in this one, she has a color swatch page. I wonder, is this the first book that she did? Oh, it's all copyrighted 2021. I think with this one, she may have taken some pages from her super cute coloring book to put them in here because some of the illustrations look familiar to me. Just some. And I will let you know what those are when I get to them. Color swatch page. We have that. That looks familiar. It's always time for tea. That looks familiar. Maybe that one, the owl. That page. The birds look familiar to me. I like her illustrations. It's something about them that draws me in. And I just think they are adorable. And the fact that she drew them by her hand makes it even more mo better, as they say. Mo better makes it mo better. Farmers market. We have some vegetables here. Now this is the one I think I saw in the book. Super cute. I'm thinking because I was considering coloring that one. And we have something in there that looks familiar. This one. But yeah, really like her illustrations. So I'm going to speed on up. If you want to see this in a slower, slowed down manner, just decrease your speed. That's all you have to do. Okay? When you're watching the video. All right. So that is it for Jane Maday's coloring book, Nature's Sweet Moments, 50 plus super cute designs. The next book that I have is Kerby Rosanes, The 10-Year Celebration. I was not going to buy this book because it was my knowledge that almost every page in here is in his books. So I do have quite a few of his books, but I don't have a lot of his books because I did donate some that I felt were didn't vibe that well with me. But it wasn't until I saw a person's flip through. It was a 4-minute flip through with music behind it, and they were just flipping through. And I said, I don't have that book, and I've never seen that illustration before. And I was noticing that a lot of the illustrations I don't have. Although I do have a few of the compilation books, I did not have the illustrations that I was seeing. And then I moseyed on over to Ivy Sunflower's flip through. She was breaking her book, breaking the spine. She was using a bone folder, and I'm going to get me one of those today when I go out. Yeah, I looked through it and I said, wow, okay. I did purchase it before I saw her video, but that sealed the deal even more because she's going to be coloring in it along with probably Sherry and maybe Mr. Hawaiian Hillbilly will be coloring in it. So I said, hey, I can join in with them. So I actually bought it. So let's take a look in Kerby's 10-year celebration coloring book here. We have our This Book Belongs To page. And then we have the table of contents. He tells you actually what's in here. So he says sketches, ink, and doodles, the celebration and coloring. Then he has illustrations from his books. Now, I don't have Anamorphia, Imagimorphia. I think I had Mythomorphia. I don't know if I still have it in my stash. I don't have these books, but then I do have some of these books, the world books here. So I figured, well, I don't have any of these books here. And if I did have one, I want to say, I think I bought that one, but I think I gave it away. It was a little small book. But anyway, I decided to go ahead and get it. So let's take a quick look in here. We have Kerby Rosanes' life so far. He talks about, I guess, his life and experience, as an artist and what he said he started drawing when he was 5. Yeah. So we have more information about Kerby here in his list of books. So now we have the illustrations. I think this is the sketches, ink, and doodles, pages from the artist's personal sketchbook, which is so cool because I don't think I've ever seen this. Yeah, from his personal sketchbook, which I think is really neat because you can see the little doodles and stuff around. I think View is working on this page because she was laying down some ink tints. I thought what she was doing was looking pretty nice. We have mushrooms all over this. Is this a dinosaur? Now, celebration of coloring. I'm going to flip through here fairly quickly. But like things like this, I don't have. I don't have. Anamorphia. Yeah. So I do have this page in reflections, I believe. I don't have that one. So that's why I went ahead and got this book because there are some illustrations, like I don't have that one, that I do not have because I don't have that book. I have seen one of these, I think in the reflections, maybe in one of the books I have. But some of these illustrations do not look familiar to me. So that's why I decided to go ahead and get the book. Now I do have this one in one of the other books here. I don't remember this one. I might have this in one of my books. I'm not sure. Phantomorphia. I don't have a book. The Phantom. I don't have the Phantomor. Is it Phantomorphia? Yeah, Phantomorphia. I don't have that book, but I do have this illustration in a couple of books that I have of his, and I do like this, by the way. So I could justify getting this book because I really don't have a lot of these illustrations that I was seeing. Now I do have that one again in the book that is compilation book. Yeah, so a lot of these I don't have, so that's why I broke down and got it. Now, I do have World Within Worlds, I believe. I think I do. And I might have it. I don't know. It might have been one that I gave away. I can't remember. Let me pause so I can be sure. Actually, I do have World Within Worlds. So, yeah. I don't think I've ever colored in it. I do have Fragile World. I have not colored in Fragile World. I do have Kaleidoscope, which has this one on the cover. Mythic World, I do have that one. I don't think I've colored in it. Yes, one of these I have colored because one of them has a turtle boy in it, and I can't remember. I do have Alien Worlds, and I've colored in it one time. That was one of the books that I almost just donated, but I kept it. This is the page here that I started trying to color, and then I just quit. Yeah. So back here we have an explosion of color, and he has the names of the pages and also who colored them. So you can check that out to see who colored these pages. And these illustrations that are colored are so lovely. They're done very well. This is like the cover of the Color Universe, I believe. I have that book. That's nice. I think I have a book with this picture in it, but I've never colored it. Yeah, that looks very nice. Okay. Wow. Okay, so that is it for Kirby's special anniversary edition. Now I'm going to show you a book that I purchased, a mythographic book. You know I'm a big mythographic fan, but this particular book, I took a chance on it. The last book that I have is Mythographic Wolf Moon by Gloria Shugalieva. She is from Bulgaria. She is a new artist to me on the mythographic series of coloring books. I am a mythographic collector. I don't buy every mythographic book, but this one caught my attention because number one, we have a new illustrator that I'm not familiar with. And also number two, it is a new name. It's a new book. So I want to see what it's all about. I purchased this from Amazon based on the illustrations that they had shown. Because sometimes they'll show like 3 or 4 illustrations. The ones that I saw, I really, really liked. So I went ahead and bit the bullet to buy this book. But, however, there are some questionable pages in here, and I'll talk about it when I get to it. On the back of the book, it says it is a dreamlike descent into the luminous and untamed world. So you can pause it to check out what this book is about. I'm going to freeze frame it here. You can also see a little bit about the illustrator here. Okay, let's take a look in here. When I first bought this book, I was excited because, ooh, Wolf Moon, this is going to be really neat. But then when I started looking in the book, I started getting very disappointed because it was not what I had expected. So this is the first page here. Looks okay. Now, let me show you something right quick about the author, which kind of helped me understand why the illustrations look the way they do. She is a digital illustrator with a degree in graphic design and illustration from New Bulgarian University in Sofia, Bulgaria. So when it says digital illustrator, graphic design, illustration, that kind of gave me all I needed to know as far as what I'm seeing with the illustration. So let's take a look. Now I'm going to flip through this one because I have not seen any flip throughs of this book on YouTube. So we're going to flip through it and I'm going to talk about it. So this might be long here. Now I do like this illustration. I think I like more illustrations in this book than I don't. So I'm leaning toward keeping the book, but it definitely was not what I thought it was going to be. We have this one. Now, some of her illustrations have black background because it is moon and it's nighttime, so that's okay with me, I guess. That one's okay. This one's okay. This one's okay. The ones that I have tagged, those are the ones that make me go, what is going on here? Yeah, this one. When I first look at this, it's just a bunch of stuff on a page. But then when I really just hone into what's going on, we have you can see the fish here. But it's still a lot going on. This illustration makes me go, okay, what's going on? I like this one. I like this one. So everything that I don't have bookmarked, there are pages that I actually like. Now this one, what makes me wonder about this, and I'm going to bring it up so you can see what I'm talking about. All these little leaves coming down. Like, why? Why are the leaves coming down? And this looks like that could be snow. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me. I would have left off the leaves. Like, why are they even there in the first place? You know? Yeah. So, anyway, that's one that kind of has me scratching my head. This one has me scratching my head because when I look at it, I'm like, what is going on? Even that's a bird, and I have to really look to make sure where's the beak at. And yeah, this is a bug. Yeah, it's just a lot going on this page, and I'm like lost. Like, what is this? Okay. I see different, I see a snail there. Every time I look at this, I see something different every time. Maybe it will eventually, you know, look right to my brain. So that was one that makes me scratch my head. I'm sure it probably is for you. This one is okay. You got half woman and half wolf, probably. I like this one here. I think it's really cute. And I think this might be one that they had shown on Amazon. Yeah. Now, this one was the one that made me think that this is AI because I'm looking at the leaves. I see the leaves. They look like maple or oak leaves. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But then I see these other little things, little smaller things that I'm pointing at here. I guess they're leaves, but like, why are they there? Why are they covering up the leaves? And I really can't tell like what's really going on. Yeah. That makes me wonder if this is AI. I don't even know. I guess I could color this, but I'm less likely to color this because of what's going on in the background. So that's that one. That's one that made me go, This one, when you look inside the jar, at first there were some things that didn't make sense to me. But then after I really looked at it, I could say, okay, I see what she's doing here. Even right here, you can see the flower. You can see it through the glass. So she wants you to be able to see that part of the flower through the glass here. Next, this one is okay. To me, still a lot going on in the background with the leaves and stuff. This one is okay. At first, I was like, she sure does have a big hand, but she actually has on a glove. That looks okay to me. This one is kind of makes me scratch my head a little bit. Yeah, but I think these jellyfish are just flying in the sky. Because down below you see the trees here. But, you might be like, what's going on? Then it'll hit you. Oh, okay. Jellyfish flying in the sky. This one is okay to me. Now, this is the page that I actually do like this page, but there's another one similar to it. This one is fine to me. I thought this was kind of odd, fish flying and stuff. So, but it's okay. This one is okay. A little bit, with the abstract stuff behind it, the planets. I'm thinking these are no, these are the this is the moon. I guess I don't know, but it's different. This one is okay. Little mermaid here. This one is okay. Now this one is what makes me go, check it out. Do you see all these little round things that's all over here? Where all the butterflies and insects are. This, I guess, is Earth. But it makes me wonder, like, what is all these little round things? Like, what is that? I don't know. Like, why would you put all that there? And this is supposed to be Earth. I don't know. This illustration makes me go, okay. This one is okay. This one is okay to me. Yeah, I really like this one. The rest of them are pretty just okay, not a big issue going on. It looks like a cell, like the nucleus. Yeah. This one, at first I was like, oh, she only has two arms. No, three. No, I see four. So let me bring it up so you can see what I'm talking about here. There's an arm, there's an arm, there is an arm here, and there is an arm there, which is really, these are really the tree branches. But this is really nice. I actually like this illustration. At first, when I saw this, I was like, what is going on here? But then I figured out what was going on. She likes crystals and stuff. This one, I'm assuming, has something to do with butterflies because you can see there's a butterfly here, but like, where's the rest of it? And this is just maybe the butterflies might live behind the door and they're coming out, but this is all about butterflies. We have this one. I didn't put a bookmark on there because I think this is okay. That one's nice. This one threw me for a loop at first, but after I just looked at it, I said, okay, I see what's going on here. This one, this one has, I guess, butterfly wings on the books, but I'm like, what is going on here with these little symbols, little letters, whatever it is on the crystals? I don't know what that is. But it's not hard to really figure out what's going on as far as coloring the page. I just don't know what all this is. And we have this one, which looks okay. And then that's it. So that is the Mythographic Wolf Moon, a book that I bought. I guess you could say it was a blind buy because I did not see a flip through of this book. And I also just went off of what I saw on Amazon as far as the illustrations that they had. I think they put the best illustrations that they thought would capture people's attention of those who would be interested in buying this book, and they caught my attention. I still am on the fence. I don't know if I'm going to keep this book or return it. I'm still on the fence, but I don't think there are a lot of pages in here that make me go, so I might just keep it and try to color in it. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm leaning toward keeping it because I don't have a whole lot of pages that make me go, it's just a few. I think I could deal with that. That's all I have for my coloring book haul. I thought this was going to be my last coloring book haul, but it's not going to be because I have 2 coloring books coming from Great Britain, and then I have another one coming. So I think I'm going to have 3 more coloring books that I'll be sharing with you. Those are actually the last 3 that I'm buying that I will show you. I probably won't do a haul. I more than likely just do flip throughs of those books when I get them. Yeah, so I guess technically this is my last coloring book haul because I'm not buying any more coloring books. Yeah, I'm good. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Until next time, keep calm and keep coloring. Bye.